Hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred today in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things I personally find intriguing enough for me to bring to you. The source, of course, of this information comes from the smart device application on this day. The music in the background is Nova by Ahrix, which I found on the YouTube channel No Copyright Sounds, aka NCS. For links to the app, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar. Now before we get on with the show, if you hear a blowing noise perpetually through this whole video, that's because I have a fan right there, and I have a fan right there, and I have a fan right there, and they're all going at maximum speed because it is 10:20 in the morning, and it's 95 freaking degrees. So, on top of all that, because electricity in California, especially during the summer, is expensive as holy hell, and you know, we want to save money. Even if we didn't really care, I get no AC. Like, you know, my the vent over that way, over there somewhere. Where is it? Right over there. Because of the way this house was built, the ducts don't really carry AC and or heating to either this room or my bedroom, which is actually that door right behind this other door. That's my bedroom back there. I get nothing from the AC or heating. So during the winter, you know, not really that cold because there is no winter in California, but during the summer, ooh, it's hot, especially during the mornings with the sun beating in right through that window, and I get no circulation of AC even if we have it running. So my my dad's room, which is right over there, gets pretty much all the AC in the entire upstairs, so it turns into what he calls frostbite falls. So anyway, there's that. Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? Today's Moon's Day, aka Monday, September 26, 2016. In 2014, a mass kidnapping occurred in Iguala, Mexico. In 2008, Swiss pilot and inventor Yves Rossi became the first person to fly a jet engine-powered wing across the English Channel. In 2000, anti-globalization protests in Prague, with about 20,000 people involved, turned violent during the IMF and World Bank summits. In 1984, the United Kingdom and China agreed to transfer the sovereignty over Hong Kong to take place in 1997. In 1983, Australia 2 won the America's Cup, ending the New York Yacht Club's 132-year domination of the race. Also in 1983, the Soviet nuclear false alarm incident took place, in which the military officer Stanislav Petrov identified a report of an incoming nuclear missile as a computer error and not a first strike by the US. In 1980, during the Oktoberfest terror attack in Munich, 13 people were murdered and 211 others were injured. In 1973, Concorde made its first non-stop crossing of the Atlantic in record-breaking time. In 1969, Abbey Road, the last recorded album by The Beatles, was released. In 1960, the first televised debate took place in Chicago between presidential candidates Richard M. Nixon and John F. Kennedy. In 1959, Typhoon Vera, the strongest typhoon to hit Japan in recorded history, made landfall and caused the deaths of 4,580 people and left nearly 1.6 million others homeless. In 1954, Toya Maru, the Japanese rail ferry, sunk during a typhoon in the Tsugaru Strait, Japan, and caused the deaths of 1,172 people. In 1950, Indonesia was admitted to the United Nations. Also in 1950, UN troops recaptured Seoul from North Korean forces. In 1944, during World War II, Operation Market Garden failed. In 1942, during the Holocaust, August Frank, a higher official of the SS Concentration Camp Administration Department, issued a memorandum that contained a great deal of operational detail on how Jews should be evacuated. In 1934, the steamship RMS Queen Mary was launched. In 1933, as gangster Machine Gun Kelly surrendered to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, he shouted, quote, "Don't shoot, G-men," end quote, which became a nickname for FBI agents, and is also used in pop culture reference like Half-Life. In 1918, during World War I, the Meuse-Argonne Offensive, the bloodiest single battle in U.S. history, began. In 1914, the United States Federal Trade Commission, also known as FTC, was established by the Federal Trade Commission Act. In 1910, Indian journalist Swati Shabahimani Ramakrishna Piali was arrested after publishing criticism of the government of Travancore and was exiled. In 1907, New Zealand and Newfoundland each became dominions within the British Empire. In 1789, Thomas Jefferson was appointed as the first United States Secretary of State. John Jay was appointed as the first Chief of Justice of the United States. Samuel Osgood was appointed as the first United States Postmaster General, and Edmund Randolph was appointed as the first United States Attorney General. In 1777, during the American Revolution, British troops occupied Philadelphia. In 1687, the city of Amsterdam voted to support William of Orange's invasion of England, which later became the Glorious Revolution. Also in 1687, the Parthenon in Athens was partially destroyed by an explosion caused by the bombing from Venetian forces led by Morosini, who were besieging the Ottoman Turk station in the city of Athens. And in 1580, Sir Francis Drake finished his circumnavigation of the Earth. Births: Dean Butterworth, 1966, T.S. Eliot, 1888, Ivan Pavlov, 1849, Johnny Appleseed, 1774. Deaths: Paul Newman, 2008, Daniel Boone, 1820. And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar for any links you may be interested in. You can also rate 5 thumbs and subscribe if you do so wish. For your dose of past events daily, I am Aeoxander, and you are you. Toodles!